Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Tourmaline Tarot. We're going to do your October reading. I was waiting for Mercury to go direct because my tech stuff has been berserk. So now that we're out of that, awesome. Also, this is a general reading, so if it is yours, you'll know. If it's not yours, you'll also know. So, you know the drill. So, Sagittarius, October. What are we doing here? October, Sagittarius. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. So, Queen of Swords, King of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 7 of Wands, 9 of Cups. All right. I don't feel like, 7 of Wands being in the middle, for me, that's usually more about like, I need space, I need boundaries, back it up. Back it up. Because with the corners you have Queen of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. I feel like you're making decisions on your own, but it does require you to kind of have faith in something. 4 of Pentacles, people say it's like the miser card, but it's also holding on. It could be, in a way, keeping the faith, because this Page of Cups, to me, says there is an element of like, okay, it's the hope is there, the intentions are there, but I don't really think the payoff is there yet, because the Queen of Swords, she is like making decisions that things are going, this is what we're doing, and with the 10 of Cups, you're making the right ones, because we got Queen of Swords, 10 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, and you feel solid. You're coming from a good place, even if you feel like you kind of have to like pump the brakes on certain aspects, whether it's people or situations. You're being a lot better at drawing those boundaries. They're not just in crayon anymore. It's like you took the Sharpie instead, and you're like, that's there's your boundary. So with this King of Wands, like I said, there's more of a taking control energy. With the 7 of Wands, there's kind of, like I said, boundaries, being aware of things, any kind of conflict. You're not really taking on other people's stuff. Because for me, the 7 of Wands is about other people trying to project onto you, or, be like, no, well, Sag's the problem. And you're like, I don't think so. And with the World, I feel like you get to let that go. Like you're moving into a new phase. In some ways, with this 4 of Pentacles over here, you could be trying to not take stuff with you, but I feel like you do, you have a carryover. You have a defensiveness hangover where you're kind of like, well, it was that way before. I expect it to be the same again. I expect to have resistance. I expect to have to stand up for myself or whatever. But with the 9 of Cups here, it starts to kind of click. You start to see the things that kind of mesh and fulfill and arise, where you're just like I call it like street signs. I mean, even if you're seeing angel numbers on your microwave, who cares? Like, just take it and go. For me, it's license plates and phone numbers. I'm like, thank you. Got it. So yes, you'll start to see the road signs where this kind of intention and hope starts paying off. Because the Queen of Swords, King of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, you could feel like you've had to have kind of, not necessarily defensive, but you've had to have a very stiff outward appearance. The Queen of Swords, kind of cold, kind of very decisive. King of Wands, like, no, this is what we're doing, whatever. And you've had to hold on to maybe that persona, that idea, and kind of keeping things at arm's length, like this 7 of Wands thing. But with this 10 of Cups, you are starting from a good spot, and you want to keep that spot, but you might have to factor yourself in a little bit. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, well, I hit a 10. What do I want? What do I, not necessarily looking for what you get out of it, but wondering how you factor into it. Because then you have 9 of Pentacles, the World, and the Page of Cups. I think you get comfortable with this whole thing. You have 2 9s, because with the world, it's saying, you ready? You ready? We're moving up. We're moving on up. You know, like the Jeffersons. So you do have everything you need. And you have an attitude of gratitude. That's what I call the 9 of Pentacles sometimes. For this new phase. And the Page of Cups, if you're coming out of this, like, I'm in control, I'm decisive, I have my act together energy, and then you have this Page of Cups who's like, what? There might be a little bit of a student mentality that can feel like backtracking, but at the same time, like with this 9 of Cups, it's kind of like, no, Sag, you're good, you're fine, okay? So what is this Page of Cups about is what I'm curious. Page of Cups and 9 of Cups together. Let's do those guys together. Ace of Pentacles. Yes, so we are starting a new thing. I do want to point out that the Page of Cups has 1 cup. This is the 9 of Cups. 10. You have the 10 back here. So it's like any good stuff you have is compounding upon each other. But now you're kind of seeing the ways that these things can manifest physically. All the good vibes and the intentions or whatever. Now, no. Ace of Pentacles. I almost said Ace of Cups, but you know where I'm going with that. So what exactly is Sag kind of manifesting with this? 10 of Swords, Ace of Cups, 5 of Wands. I don't feel like you're totally comfortable with it yet. Like you do have to phase out some of that vibe. I'm also saying if there's any feelings of like, oh, I don't deserve this, or I didn't work hard enough for it, or I didn't, you know, whatever I didn't, that's making you kind of have this 5 of Wands, you know, like confusion because you've had to be in control or had to think, had to have a barrier up. You get over that because the 10 of Swords is there like Sag, come on. Be done with it. So that's good. I mean, I think you have to kind of ease into it. Like you're incredibly optimistic, yet also hesitant at the same time. Because just on the Page of Cups and the World together, what are we talking about here for Sag? Any day. Thank you. Queen of Wands. I'm hearing that Janet Jackson song, Control. I know for any youngins, you might not get that, but look it up. Because the sun, the opportunities are coming. It's almost like the universe is like, hey, Sag, good luck. Good luck fighting this. It's good stuff. And you're like, just give me a minute. I don't think you get a minute. Because the sun, what are the opportunities coming in? Or you're starting to see the ways that stuff was like, okay, I need to let go of this. And this, okay, I had the Star. I don't know how much more blunt I can get. It all clicks and you can kind of let down any kind of facade. You can kind of ease yourself into it. You can trust it. You don't have to be the one in the driver's seat. You can ride shotgun even if you can't control the radio. That's a rule in my car. If I'm driving, I pick the radio. So, you know, 4 of Pentacles. What does Sag need to let go? Oh, hello. Okay. It is the Fool, 6 of Pentacles, and Death. So yeah, there's a change in focus. There's a change in movement. There's a pivoting. And, you know, I am just going to say October is eclipse season, baby. Kicking that off. So everyone's getting this big pivot shift. You're not in control as you think you are. There's an element of kind of surrendering yourself to that energy of like, all right, we're changing. Things are moving. And you're being asked, where's your time and energy going? What are you holding on to? That it's time to shift. And, you know, I mean, you have the 9 of Cups and the Star and the Sun on the other side of all this. So I think you need to get comfortable with it a little faster than you might be willing to. So moving on to the Oracle here. The Scythe. Okay, everyone's getting this change thing. It's like, guess what? We're changing. There's a level of discipline that has to come with it. and you're longing for it. This is something you wanted, but it requires maybe a redirection of your energy that you're like, but I was working so hard over here. You want me to work on... Okay. Yeah, it will be a surprise. There will be something that kind of is like an aha moment with the lightning, but it'll be worth it. There's a level of faith and loyalty and figuring out what's important. This could also be people around you that you're kind of figuring out who's your ride or dies. And yeah, I always love Sag because there's always like I'm so open and so spiritual, but I'll fight you. And I think there's still this, I fight you. Like, I don't trust it yet 100%. Because you have the swords here and then you have the Five of Wands over here. So you have the Tower, which is like commitments and work and all sorts of stuff. Then you have the Medal, which means you're getting recognition and you have this whole new beginning, but I'll fight you. So I will protect. Sag, protect. So yeah, I do love it. It's like everything's great, but Sag is over here like, I'll take you down. Try it. Try me. But no, it's good. I just think you have to be open to when the switch is starting. And you see the movement. 9 of Cups is there. It's delightful. You have the star. You have the sun. There is a letting go, though, that you have to do. A lack, like giving up control a little bit. Or ways of doing stuff that's old. So going on to the crystal deck, what do we have? Oh, it's Rhodonite, which is patience, seeking, and forgiveness. Drawing this card indicates it is time to stand back and be honest. What is your role in the conflict, and are you willing to truly forgive? All right, forgiveness doesn't necessarily have to be, like you were in a fight with somebody or whatever. There's also, I like to replace forgive with grace. Like, what are you giving grace? What are you being like, okay, that's the way that is. So I do want another one on that. So there is, like I said, there's an allowing that has to happen. No, what's like a good action thing for Sag? Let's rephrase that. A good action thing. Chrysoprase, which is nature, calming, accepting, and universal. All right. Look closely at your own motivations and actions. Are you driven by higher ideals, or have you become bogged down in any egocentric, thoughtless behavior that satisfies the here and now and not the greater good? So like I said, there's a big evaluation. You got to let go of some stuff, and then the other things are coming in. So you might not trust it all the way, but just know, like I said, watch for the little road signs that are like, Sag, come over here. But you're still bringing the optimism with the Page of Cups. So Sag, that's what we have for October, and I'll talk to you later.